Welcome to another episode of Bright Insights, the podcast that leads you to less stress and more success. Here's your host, Paul Bright.
Welcome to Bright Insights. I'm your host, Paul Bright. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Let's just recap a little bit from last week. Is that I decided to pause the A to Z guide for new leaders in the midst of this coronavirus crisis. And I wanted to make sure that I was going to give you some messages that were going to help you lead through this crisis, not just yourself, but the others around you. Yet we start with yourself, and that is the point of these next episodes. In today's episode, bottom line up front, is how to practice gratitude. Now, I have a whole much longer episode about gratitude planned for you. That will come as soon as we can get a little bit more settled and stabilized in this crisis, and we get to, some sort of sense of normalcy. But for now, I need to get you some quick tips, because gratitude, believe it or not, is going to be very important to have in the middle of all this. So how do we practice gratitude? What's the point of it all? And the point of it all is that you're fighting every day. You're fighting every day even more now to preserve something that you care about. Yet in that battle, you can forget the reasons why. You just know that you're fighting. You know you're supposed to fight for your kids and your family and your job and your way of living, fighting for your faith. But sometimes it's like, I know what I'm doing, but why am I doing this? What is the purpose of this? And yes, the purpose is because it is your purpose, but there's also more to it. You care. You really care. And you don't always have to care about something just because something bad happens to it. You care about things because good things happen too. And that's what we're going to do. And what I need you to do is to end your day with some thoughts that are all about gratitude, what you're thankful for. And we're going to do them in phases. We're going to think about yourself, what you're grateful for, your loved ones, and your businesses, your business, whatever projects you were working on, what you're grateful for. And we're going to do it in a certain order. Okay, so it's the end of your day. You've handled everything that you need to handle, your social distancing, the family members you are allowed to be around 24/7 or 25/8. As it may feel to some people. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's all over with. What else? What do I have to do tomorrow? And it's real easy to go to bed starting to plan for tomorrow. And I am a person who does not believe those should be your last thoughts going to bed. You think about them, sure, you can't help it. I mean, you're putting out fires daily, minute by minute, hour by hour. But the thing you need in your bed, but the thoughts you need to have before you go to bed should not be what has to happen tomorrow. Because that's more work, and all that work and the stress that comes with it is going to stay in your head all night throughout your sleep. You're not going to sleep very well. But if you can go to bed with positive thoughts about the things you're working for, it's going to be a much easier sleep. And when you sleep well, everybody else does well. So what I want you to do is think about something you've been able to accomplish last week for yourself. What are you grateful for that you've been able to accomplish last week? Think about that. Then think about your loved ones. What's something of last week that you were grateful for that happened with your loved ones? And then with your businesses, what's something, your businesses or your personal projects, what's something that you were grateful for about them last week? That's it. 3 thoughts. 3 thoughts before you go to bed. 3 things you're grateful for from last week. Yourself, your loved ones, or your business or personal projects. The next night, think about last month. What's something that you're grateful for that you were able to accomplish? What about your loved ones? What about your business or personal projects, or maybe even, things you'd volunteer your time for, your church, your social clubs? Okay, the next night, think about the month before that. So if you were thinking last week, and we were publishing this episode towards the end of March, maybe you're thinking middle March. But then the next night, I want you to think about February. And then the next night, I want you to think about January. And then the next night after that, I want you to think about December. And you just keep going back month after month after month after month, every night. You're going to end your night with these 3 things that you are grateful for yourself that you're able to do, for something that your loved ones did or something you liked about them that they did, and then something about your business or a personal project or something you donate your time to. That's what you're going to do. You're going to keep doing this because as you scale back, you're going to keep saying, man, this is what I'm fighting for. This is what we're holding on to so that when this crisis is over, I'm even more grateful for what I have around me. And that makes me want to fight and lead more. And when I do that and everybody sees that, there's a whole lot less stress and more success in life. Because again, you will get through this. And anything else that comes afterwards is going to be like, psh, man, we handled the virus. We handled coronavirus. It wasn't easy. We came out resilient. We got through it, though. You will get through this. And just a reminder, check my show notes or go to brightinsightsmedia.com. And if you need a 10-minute break from everybody to realign yourself and get rid of that people buzz from being around people 24/7 or 25/8 in some people's cases, I've got a free or a guided meditation that's included with a sign up. Just check it out. Give it a shot. There's also another guide that comes to you, some tips that I learned from my time in the military of how you can lead better. You could just start tomorrow. 7 tips. That's also included. But just remember to be grateful for all these things that are in your life, to include yourself. You will get through this. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Bright Insights. For more information on how to have less stress and more success, visit brightinsightsmedia.com.
If you enjoyed this episode in particular, or the Bright Insights podcast overall, subscribe and share with your friends. That gives us a little more visibility. And with that, we can all have less stress and more success.